Hi, everybody. This is Debbie. How are you? Many blessings to you today. And this video is a tutorial to help you on your way with the exercise for day 14. Very exciting on self-forgiveness. So forgiveness is quite simple. It may seem more complicated than it is from the fact that this one is 3 pages. So I thought that I would walk you through an example to help you along in case this is useful. And remember that as you watch this, that really your experience is your own. So it's fine to relate to what I'm saying. And really the key is to explore how self-forgiveness works for you, including the wording of it and the tempo of it and how you identify your upsets, all of that. So a couple of keys to forgiveness. I'm going to just let you read this on your own and just a few highlights for you. And the first one is that forgiveness starts inside. So as we've explored over the past few weeks, that when you're upset about something, when you have a reaction, that's not caused by something out there, that it's caused, there's my kitty cat, he's my cat of forgiveness, that it's really a result of something going on inside of you, some reaction that you have, and that healing it can really open you to letting go into a greater sense of freedom, plus a whole lot more, and moving forward and expanding in your projects because of that freedom. So if upset starts inside, that means that forgiveness also starts inside, that you can always make a decision, a choice to forgive. So that's one key. And a second key is that forgiveness is about letting go of right or wrong, of the thing that you're judging about a situation. That when you're upset about something, that's really anything that disturbs your peace. And it's like, well, what's disturbing your peace? It's when you're judging something, when you're thinking it should be different than how it is. And we're going to get more into this. So a simple phrase that you can use to practice self-forgiveness is the stem is I forgive myself for judging. Because it's not really about the thing that happens or the behavior or the person. It's about the judgment that you're making. So if you're judging yourself for procrastinating itself is not right or wrong. It's your judgment that's causing the suffering and separation from your heart. So there are 2 phrases you can use. I forgive myself for judging myself, or I forgive myself for judging X or others. And the others can be whatever, your father, your husband, your coworker, etc. So let's walk through this with an example, and I'm going to give you an example fresh from my life just today. So I got my hair cut today, and when I was at the hairdresser, I was in the bathroom. And I saw a Trader Joe's soap, this pink grapefruit soap. And that's the soap that my ex-partner David uses in his bathroom. And I just split up with him. And that's like a part of my own project on the 21 Days of Forgiveness. And when I saw that soap, I felt upset. I felt I could feel a constriction in my stomach. So just walking through these steps, that's my step 1 here, is like what disturbed me, seeing the freaking pink grapefruit soap from Trader Joe's. Sometimes it can be as simple as that. And I noticed, I flashed on some things like, oh, David, oh, upset, oh, loss, oh, my stomach got tight. And I paused with that. And here's the thing. It says, express the upset hurt as fully as possible. Like, I really miss him. And I don't have Um, well, I can't say that. That's being authentic. I do have judgment about the fact I miss him. Now, see, if I missed him and I didn't have judgment about that, in some ways that's not really an issue, right? Because it's just, then I could allow the grief to come up and it would take its course and that would be it. It's when I'm upset about that, when I'm like, oh, how could I feel this loss? Like my peace is disturbed. That's when, like, look at what I'm doing. Like, that's the issue. And a part of me doesn't want to express the hurt. And the reason why is because of this next statement. What am I making right or wrong about the situation? And I'm making it wrong that I experienced loss about David. Like, I'm making that mean that I made a mistake. That because I feel loss, that means that I made a mistake. And that's where the judgment is. And that's where the crux right now of my disturbance is. So because I have this judgment, it's like I'm not allowing the loss full expression just to be fine. It's like just because I have a feeling doesn't mean I need to have that disturb my peace. And it is. And so in some ways, I'm not, up until now, not fully letting go of we're moving through this loss to what's on the other side, because I think that there's like a possibility that I can make a right or wrong choice. And when I experience loss, that's evidence. And all of this from Pink Grapefruit. Okay, I'm moving on to number 2. So I hope that gives you a sense of like how fluid that just writing down what disturbed you today can really be. And I could even go back to that later, like maybe after I do the forgiveness, I have like some other aha. So I could do that. Or maybe I use it again tomorrow if I haven't let it go. Okay, so step 2, I'm saying what I see here in purple. I accept myself and all involved in this situation, especially David and the pink grapefruit soap and the loss I experience. I am willing to take ownership for my upset and forgive myself for judging myself and each person and thing involved. And I just felt my shoulders relax. You probably saw that, right? So you can notice that. It's like, how do you respond to these different questions? And I'm going to pause and take a breath because that feels authentic for me. Okay. That's forgiveness. Here we go. Okay. So the next one is complete the following stem sentence. I forgive myself for judging. So I'm going to do this with at least 5 judgments. Now, I didn't say 5 judgments above, and that's okay. Like, I'm just going to do it as I go. And maybe if I were writing this on my own, I would have written down more judgments. Like, what am I making right or wrong about the situation with David, about what I'm experiencing about it, about like the choices that I make, what should be different. And I could always just play with it and write and just say and write what comes up at the time that I'm looking at these judgments. So there are 2 phrases that you'll see here. And one is, I forgive myself for judging myself for or as, and I forgive myself for judging X for or as. So that would probably be, in my case, I forgive myself for judging David. So it's helpful to get specific in the self-forgiveness because that could maybe help you let go. And one other key that I'm aware of is that whatever David is doing that I find upsetting, that's just mirroring something in me that I have not come to peace with. So I'm just aware of that right now as I'm even getting going with the forgiveness. It may come up in this self-forgiveness, it may not. I'm just aware of that. And it's something like I might even make a note of, like, explore this more. Like, what was it about David that I let get upset by, like that he caused my upset, which I know he didn't, right? Because taking responsibility. And then maybe I would use that tomorrow or in the days ahead, or maybe I would clear it right there. So here we go. So I forgive myself for judging myself for feeling loss about David. I forgive myself for judging myself as making a wrong choice because I experienced loss when I looked at the pink grapefruit Trader Joe's soap. I'm going to pause there. Now notice I did not say I forgive myself for judging myself for making a wrong choice because I experienced loss, because I don't know if that's a wrong choice or not. It feels much better inside of me to say, I forgive myself for judging myself as making a wrong choice. I forgive myself for judging David for not coming after me when I split up with him. And that brings up some upset, so I'm aware of that. I forgive myself for judging David as thinking I'm unimportant because he didn't come after me. And I forgive myself for judging myself as thinking I'm not important because I don't take care of myself when I experience loss the way I would like to. Wow, that really taught me something. It's like I'm thinking that I'm not important, or that like I'm making that mean something, like if I'm not taking care of my loss in that moment, that some part of me believes that means I think I'm unimportant. And that's not true. It's really just that I have some belief about what experiencing loss is. So this isn't a part of it, and I'm just going to say it, that I affirm that I'm really important and I'm taking care of my needs the best that I can. And I'll continue to do better as I know better. And now I know better. So maybe next time I see pink grapefruit, it may not even be an issue because I may have cleared it. Or if I notice that upset, that I could really pause to be with it. So there you go. Notice I got somewhat specific. And then number 4, I'm just going to let you do on your own. That it's a beautiful 2-minute video that I really encourage you just to listen to it, to do the steps in the video. It's about, I think I said 2 minutes. And then that really wraps it up for day 14. So I hope that this was helpful. I did not really plan this. I mean, I had a general sense of the topic and I just went with it authentically, and I feel freer and like I have more space and a deeper awareness about my own process that I can use in the days ahead, especially like the confirming that I am really important and okay. And that's a piece for me that's important. So use this however it works for you. You may find a key like I did to help me in my next steps with my project, to like affirm how important and wonderful that I am. Or you may not. You may say, hey, I didn't really experience much of anything. Like, that's totally cool. So really explore, play, have fun with it, and see how it works for you. And post your comments in the Facebook group if you want to, your insights, what blocks you felt from doing this. It's a really great way for each of you to simply support each other, and because we're not doing this alone. And you may notice having common experiences or simply learning from each other's experiences. And it's always a great way to give each other a lot of love and support so that we continue to create and expand this bowl of caring for each other. Okay, blessings. I'm going to stop this now and have a wonderful day, a wonderful forgiving day. Bye to all.